Welcome back. David Hertel in for Elias. Well, we followed very closely the launching of two new political parties, Balarama Wholeness with Bloc Montréal and Colin Standish with the Canadian Party of Quebec. And I am curious about learning more about the candidates for these different parties. So we've been in touch with both parties. To be fair, the Canadian Party of Quebec has told us that they do not have candidates yet. So we have no candidates to offer you today. But Bloc Montréal does have candidates, and one of them is joining us today. He is Joël DeBellefeuille, who is the Bloc Montréal candidate in Darcy-McGee. Joël, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, David. A pleasure.
So, pleasure's all mine. So, Joël, first of all, maybe tell our listeners a bit about yourself, because you've been very involved on a lot of local issues, which started with a very unfortunate event that happened to you a few years ago.
Yeah, actually, it's been several occurrences over the last almost 15 years.
Yeah.
But, a brief snapshot. Mm-hmm. So I'm the founder of a federally registered and provincially registered lobby group called the Red Coalition. Yeah. And we lobby against fighting against racism and discrimination Canada-wide. I've got a bit of a background in capital markets, investor relations, public relations, kind of a jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. But something that's synonymous is that I kind of, be my best me, as well as doing, what's good for the others. So in the last few years, got involved in politics. You may be aware I ran in the 2021 municipal elections in Loyola, mm-hmm. Having placed a third out of 7 candidates for Mouvement Montréal. So this essentially is a continuation, of that movement into Bloc Montreal.
So why run in Darcy-McGee for Bloc Montréal? What are you from that area? I mean, Darcy-McGee is what, Côte Saint-Luc, Hampstead, that area. Why choose Darcy-McGee?
Yeah, well, as I just mentioned, having ran for city councilor mm-hmm. candidate in the area, a portion of Darcy-McGee spills across into where I ran before. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, it was a successful, run. We were well supported in the area. Some of the residents of Côte Saint-Luc and Hampstead and area weren't able to vote for, Mouvement Montréal at the time. I'm familiar with the area. I also recognize and acknowledge the, large portion of religious minorities in the area. Mm-hmm. I successfully launched an e-petition with the Red Coalition about 5-6 weeks ago on Bill 21. And I know that area is affected by multiple elements of the Bill 21. And so I want to use my influence and knowledge in regards to, fighting for people's rights, have that, kind of display itself in the Darcy-McGee area.
So, Joël, sometimes the news gives us some opportunities to talk about certain issues. We spoke a lot this morning, for example, on the Big Five, about this new Léger poll about Montrealers feeling less safe than they did 5 years ago. 50% of Montrealers feel less safe than they did 5 years ago. So what's your response to this, and what is Bloc Montréal's response to this situation of public safety here in Montreal?
There's a lot that's happening. It's really unfortunate. I think, David, that, a large contribution of what's happening right now is everybody, in the city, in all of Canada, in the world for that matter, have been, cooped up due to COVID for the last 2.5 years. And unfortunately, it's been, playing a toll on the mental health of a lot of people, in the city. And sometimes, in French, you say c'est plus fort que nous. Mm-hmm. And that is, the unfortunate situation. So I think, collectively working with local community groups, working with organizations as the Red Coalition, where we work with elected officials as well as law enforcement agencies. I think collectively, if everybody's on the same page, we can kind of tone down a little bit of what's happening. But it needs to be actionable. It can't be, let's promise, to work harder in this particular situation. No, it's happening now, and everything, needs to, essentially move forward at the exact same time. It's an unfortunate situation. It is really sad that, once a week we're hearing these, unfortunate events of this person got stabbed, this person got shot. It's frustration. It's built up frustration, and it's all getting, let out at the exact same time.
Speaking with Bloc Montréal candidate in Darcy McGee, Joël DeBellefeuille, your leader, Ballarama Wholeness, told Aaron and Natasha last week, you're not a single issue party. You're not just a protest party. You're seeking to represent all the various facets of Montreal society. Another big story this morning coming out of La Presse. Front page news regarding the MUHC. The capacity of the MUHC is beyond exploding. It seems that the healthcare situation is not even close to getting better. We're at a crisis point. What's your response to situations like that? What does Bloc Montréal propose to tackle this healthcare situation that is clearly getting worse and worse?
Well, that's definitely a good question, David, and appreciate that. So let me just unpack a couple of things first that kind of revolve around the whole issue. So the City of Montreal and the GMA and the residents, of Darcy McGee, they're tired of the status quo. They don't want to be promised the sun, the moon, the stars, and only get clouds, right? They don't want to be promised a bridge and only get poured cement. They need, sorry for the analogy, but that's what it's down to, right? So they want an actionable voice that is going to deliver clear messages to the National Assembly straight from the horse's mouth. And that's the population of the GMA as well as Darcy McGee. Let's put it bluntly here. The Quebec Liberals had 150 years to get it right. And now we're seeing a mass exodus of seasoned politicians. Seasoned politicians, David. That should tell you something, that there's definitely trouble in paradise, and times have changed. Now, another issue, 1.5 million Quebecers are without medical doctors.
Family doctors.
So that's a problem. And back to what I said earlier about being cooped up for the last 2.5 to 3 years due to COVID, this government, as well as other governments, were not properly prepared for, this situation. Talking about something else, passport. That's another insane thing. So I think before biting off more, elements that needs to be addressed, we need to fix one situation at a time here. What's important? Yes, healthcare is extremely important. There was the unfortunate events with Mr. Legault in regards to his reaction time on certain things that a lot of your listeners are aware of. The doctors. It's just, there's so many things that need to be addressed right now. We're in, you use the word crisis. And, we as Bloc Montreal and as myself, we're not, again, I'm going to reiterate, we're not promising the things that the latter parties have promised. We're going to be that actionable voice that's going to roll up their sleeves and actually communicate to the National Assembly exactly what the residents in the Greater Montreal area and in my district, in the region of Darcy McGee, we're going to tell the people that we're going to work for them, and we're going to bring that message directly to the National Assembly.
We'll have to leave it at that. I really appreciate you taking the time this morning, Joël.
Thank you very much, David. Appreciate it.
Joël DeBellefeuille is Bloc Montréal candidate in Darcy McGee.